What do you want here? What are you doing here? Who sent you? Hi there. Hi there, welcome to Oakland. This is June the 2nd, 1996. I'm on my way to a gig at the Schooner. It's a very hot day, so I dress well for San Francisco because it's very unpredictable. But we'll try to be apropos to the astrological forecast of the day. Since it's in my sun sign of Gemini, I'm going to wear my sun shirt, which is yellow, which represents Leo and stuff, and the sun of Gemini. And so, since I've been up all night last night, I'm going to try to perfect my intellect to the highest degree. And so I'll wear these colors to enhance my brain so I can think of good musical notes to play. Over. Again. To the left. Get down. Perfect Windsor. All right. How do you like that?
Vince Wallace was considered the baddest cat that came out of Oakland. By high school, he played to the extent where he was always welcome, even by greater musicians who would arrive in Oakland. The Charlie Parkers, Dexter Gardens, and Teddy Edwards.
If you go into some little club like Schooner's where he plays, and you just start to feel the energy and amazing knowledge of this man playing the tenor saxophone, you'll go, why don't I know about this guy?
One, two, one.
Vince was a force in my life, and he was a force maybe in the Los Angeles scene before he came up here. But when you look at the situation now, and Vince is relegated to playing in a bar for very, what we call chump change these days, it's a very pathetic situation because you don't get that kind of virtuosity on an instrument that he has and his knowledge of music with his vitality without a lot of hard work.
Vince was considered, in a sense, fearless because of two reasons. First, he would play with all of the distinguished musicians regardless of what their reputations were. But the other remarkable thing about Vince was he was fearless in the sense that he ventured into the heart of the black community when no other young white musicians would do this.
I'm interested in industrialization of jazz and have franchises like McDonald's and A&W Root Beer and have jazz in Reno and have jazz in Sacramento, Fresno, Bakersfield, everywhere, and pay these guys to play at these certain clubs for 1 month, and then they rotate. The guys who are in Portland go down to the McDonald's down in San Diego. McDonald's San Diego goes to Oakland. Oakland goes to San Francisco. They have this chain of jazz clubs where they feature child babysitting and real comfortable pillows to sit down on and stuff like that. And they have jazz on the wall and album covers, artwork, and they have jazz playing on the jukebox. When you take an intermission, they don't crank out some folk music or loud rock and roll. They have whatever kind of music is being played on the stage that night. If it's a jazz band, then you have jazz on the music to keep it all coordinated. It's the same kind of thing. And get in the mood for jazz.
What's that picture?
Nervous breakdown. I don't know what is it. What is that picture?
What does it look like?
Breaking apart of two skulls. Far out. I guess it's a computer thing. Anyway, would you like to hear this article?
Yes.
Oh, great. The Green and Gold. That's our student body newspaper back in Fremont High School.
What year was that?
Volume LXXXI. Fremont High School, Oakland, California, November 17th, 1954. Number 9. Ready?
I'm ready.
Oh, are you talking to me?
We're
okay.
rolling, yeah.
Okay, cool. Vince Wallace plays jazz. 3 students joined quartet. The student body of Fremont at the annual Nutrition Assembly heard on Friday, November the 4th, for the first time, the lively and wonderfully entertaining Vince Wallace Quartet. Vince Wallace, originator of the group, plays all reed instruments by ear. It's kind of hard. Although the whole school was and still is talking about Vince. That's a long time to talk about somebody. Almost 50 years ago. He says that he would be much better off if he had learned to read music before he had gone on too far with it. His advice to all budding young musicians is, don't be like me. Learn the fundamentals of music before trying to pick out songs by ear. He wants to try to keep the same musical group through high school and after. He's made a TV appearance recently on the Join the Gang show on TV. Next time they have a combo contest. Since Vince, we're going to enter. Vince is thinking of starting a jazz club at school. Not just a club for musicians, states Vince, but a club for anybody interested in jazz. After school, the first thing you'd want to do is go to their house and get high and hope that their mother and father didn't catch you or something, or somebody didn't bust you or something. So we'd all congregate in the room and we'd be all smoky and shit. We'd be fanning out the window and sitting around in a circle listening to Bud Powell and Charlie Parker and Coltrane, really tripping out behind the music and experimenting with different types of drugs. And so we went to A to Z, and we made a few mistakes along the way.
What kind of mistakes?
Taking the wrong combination. Things that had a bad reaction, you know, had to wind up in the hospital a few times. And then certain drugs were more popular during certain eras. Like, there was the LSD era, and then there was the speed era, and the cocaine era.
What was your favorite era?
They all had their points. They all had their ups and their downs. My mother was too busy, you know, working full time, and so I stayed with different relatives. And my grandmother was taking me for a walk down Harrington Avenue one day, and this lady named Mama Bear was watering her garden. And my grandmother says, "Hey, do you want a little boy?" And Mama Bear said, "Yeah, sure, I'll take him. We'll name him Jimmy, like Jimmy Bear. 3 bears, Papa Bear, and Mama Bear, and little baby bear, little Jimmy Bear. He played saxophone. That was me." At the age of 4, they used to take me to go see Duke Ellington with Ethel Waters on vocals, and Count Basie, Jimmy Lunsford, Sugar Child Robinson, Ray Charles, whoever's in town. And sometimes sometimes they would come into the Orpheum Theater in Oakland and have a special matinee. It would be just music. It would be really great. And so I fell in love with it right from the start. As soon as I saw that and was exposed to jazz, I knew that this is for me. This is what I want to do.
Very interesting because he's someone who doesn't read music at all, which makes me think that someone with enormous talent can hear music and play it like Bach or any great composer and play very intelligent music with that kind of vitality, which is sort of the essence of jazz.
When I first knew him, he had a saxophone that was stolen in 1967. And I mean, one of the things that he was known for was being able to vary his sound like an electric guitar, sound like bagpipes, do different things like that. So sound-wise, I mean, sound-wise, he can do anything he wants to do. You're not talking about one thing.
I used to bring girls up here, and then I used to have them walk backwards up the hill with their eyes closed, and then at the last minute I'd take the blindfolds off, and then and then they would see what they were surrounded by. It was kind of a shock. I'll show you what I mean. We'll go up to the space shuttle and check it out. There's a Nubian goat over there. When I was still in high school, on a rainy weekend, I'd be hitchhiking down to L.A. with my horn, just to catch some of the after-hours sessions, like this place called the Caprice Club in El Monte, California. They had a great session with Herbie Lewis and Terry Trotter, Freddie Gruber, Joe Albany, Rex Thompson, a lot of different cats. But it went all weekend, all night long. And I'd get back in Oakland for time to go to school on Monday. Sometimes a guy would dump me off in the middle of Paso Robles or Santa Maria or something like that, and then I'd catch a ride with a truck full of sheep or something. Or some old retired judge in a Model A Ford. Never know who would pick you up. It was a lot safer in those days to hitchhike than it is nowadays.
When were you living in Los Angeles?
It was 63, 59, 1960. where you're going to end it.
Yeah, right.
Just like that.
Yeah.
And then we
Yeah.
don't go
No.
to the end.
Yeah, there we go.
1, 2.
He was probably 18, 19 years old at the time I first met him. He was new in town, and I hadn't been in the area for a while, so we were trying to explore musical opportunities. And he began by playing at a place called the Stardust for a trombone player by the name of Gene Connors, who used to play with Johnny Otis. And it was basically a rock band, but they wanted a live saxophonist out front, somebody who attracted a lot of attention, and Vince has always done that. And he fit in very well, and he worked there, and little by little, people started hearing about him, and then the jazz people started coming out of the woodwork. And after that, he started working down in Belmont Shore here in Long Beach in a club that's called the Cascades, which became famous because we started these after-hours jam sessions. It's starting at 6 o'clock on a Sunday morning, and we drew musicians from everywhere. And some of them were sleeping in their cars on the street waiting for the place to open. People like Dexter Gordon and, as you know, Kent Glenn.
I remember a fight on the bandstand between Vince Wallace and Sonny Simmons.
Oh, yeah.
The intensity got so hot that from where I was sitting in the booth, they appeared to be like two people being blown by wind, and they were two spinning cars. And it would speed up and slow down. It was like it flickered. And that's how intense the group. I mean, it was absolutely burning. It was like the whole club was full of gasoline or something. You know, gas fumes. I mean, it was just unreal. And the groove was ferocious.
And the Chinese dude recorded it all, and he walked out and never saw him again. Well, he used to come there all the time and record it, all of our best stuff, you know.
Yeah.
And that moment was a real highlight of my career, and then
Yeah.
never saw the dude again.
Somebody somewhere is running around with a
Yeah.
bunch of tapes.
Hey,
that
Well,
we
who
don't-
knows?
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
you know, one of these days something might turn up.
Yeah,
Because,
something
I mean,
might-
those were great sessions,
Yeah.
man. I mean, those were unbelievable.
Yeah.
I love to go to the Cascades.
Yeah, me too.
Al, the owner of the club, who and Vince used to bump heads a lot about a lot of the things, and Vince wanted the artistic say about whatever took place on the music. And Al, for whatever reason, decided that this one musician named Bill Outwood that Vince wanted to play on the second album was not going to be on it. And Vince kept saying, yes, he is going to be on it, and they just kept bumping heads. So Vince proceeded to walk out, get in his car, and drive it into the front of the club to get, and Bill was on the album.
Was it my car?
Oh, car, the one that you spray painted every night.
Oh, yeah, I painted my car continuously. It was a new car every day.
Yes, different colors.
Psychedelic as well.
Yeah. You oversprayed the whole neighborhood.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it was fumes everywhere. Well, I feel quite honored. I feel quite lucky, to be able to star in my own film. And most cats have to die if you get this position. I do it as a living dead. So here we are at the Challenger Memorial.
What kind of things would you do up here?
Mainly just dig the peaceful vibrations and the atmosphere, the surrounding environment, look over the city from a distance, check all the beautiful lights and stuff, and different vistas and stuff.
Uh-huh. With your girlfriends?
Yeah.
Which girlfriends?
Oh, Brady and Judy, Annette, Linda, Barbara, Mary.
How many girlfriends have you had? Serious girlfriends?
I've had about, let's say about 25 wives.
How many kids?
4.
Who are your kids?
My kids are Joshua, he's the oldest, and followed by Brian, then Mara, then Cameron. 3 boys and 1 girl. But I never really had a discipline.
You weren't around that much.
When I was, I never slapped you in the face.
Hey, Dad. You never hit us. No, I can say that honestly. My dad's never spanked me once in my life. You introduced all three children. I respect him a lot.
I haven't got to you yet.
Never whipped me.
Yeah, I haven't got to Cameron yet.
Unlike my mom, she's
I remember he was born on the hottest day of the year of 1980, April 26th, the eve of St. Mark, and
that mean I'm 16, Dad.
So he's a triple Taurus. He's 15, right?
Yeah.
He was born in 1981. Hottest day of the year, which was April that year.
Let me see that.
And he was a really cute baby.
Let me tell you something.
He came out laughing.
He becomes a monster now.
I'm a graffiti artist. Like, first and foremost, also freestyle champion. So we rhyme and stuff. And that's mainly, I'm into jazz and hip-hop music. It's a 4-member crew, FSC, and that's the Focused Spontaneous Combustion. We base all our music on improvising and building from just the straight gut feeling and like emotion with like concentrated content. And I'm Knack 1. That's my character. And that's also my first graffiti. My name. That's basically my name, my stage name, and also my graphic name. The first times that I was playing with him was like in '92. And that was the first time I was coming up doing live performance and stuff. And it was good to hit with Dad because he has like totally like all that shit covered, and I can get like, I've been watching him all my life anyway, so I can just get the feeling of being professional and just having your energy just direct. I want to be like, my whole thing is to be as effective as this crazy loke on the microphone as he is on the saxophone. Like, that's my whole goal. That's my whole style. I base my shit on focused, spontaneous combustion. That's what I define jazz as. That's like the purest. Yeah, bebop. That's it. I think there's some kind of I don't know, the nucleus of the Wallace gene molecule. It's a little mix with the American Indian in there, and the Irish and the Scottish,
and the Italian.
And the mixtures are just like a combination. It's just kind of like, it's like an experiment almost. You know what I'm saying? And actually, I think Vince is not even humanoid. He's more like intergalactic species.
I would rip off my face like a zipper, like a zipper. I have a zipper coming from here, and I'll go zip, and my face would come unpeeled, and underneath would be like an eyeball, and then a bunch of gears and shit, like inside of an alarm clock.
A straight
metallic shit.
machine.
Yeah, machine. Giant machine, exactly. Like
Android.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that would be that'll be a humorous thing to do in the film, maybe. Surprise everybody by unzipping your skin and revealing a metallic underskin. And that would be the end, you know.
What was your relationship with your father like?
It was wonderful. I didn't see him that often, but when I saw him, we hit it off really great. Of course, he didn't get along with my mother. My mother hated him, and therefore, she transferred this hatred onto me because I was just a dead ringer for him, and he had the same interests as I do in music and art and things like that. And my mother was always nagging him, I guess, and so as I grew up, I think she wanted to have a girl or something, and when I came out looking just like my father, it was sort of a disappointment for her. Yeah, daydream. Yeah.
Okay, it goes like this, buddy.
What are the chances of this next tune being below 4 minutes?
Real easy. Real good.
Real good.
Real good.
Not that good, huh?
Very good.
What was that? I'm switching reels.
Okay.
Vince, I don't think really wants to be terribly successful. He has a tendency to let you take it to a certain level, and then he starts pulling back, and you trying to get him any further along. I think that the restrictions that are placed on people that are stars and the terrible schedules they have to go through, I think perhaps Vince doesn't want to do that down deep in his heart. As early as I say, back in the like 59 and 60, there were people that would say, well, give me a tape and I'll get it to the radio station and stuff, but he would never make the tape.
Vince, you can get up on the stage and play with great tenor players. And ultimately, you're successful by who you're identified with, maybe by not how many records you make or how much money is in your pocket. And whether people know him or not, that makes him, to me, successful. And I think that it's really important. I think that it's like not so much to have him appear as a star or an individual, but understand that, you know, he's a vigorous participator in a musical tradition.
The week this was in the pink section, the next week the place was packed. It was standing room only, you know, and you couldn't even find a place to sit down because people just read it and came down. So it's like out of sight, out of mind. You have to have somebody writing about you constantly. You have to have current records out that aren't stale, and you have to be able to have a band that plays the record that you made, performs the record that you just made. And that's not always easy to do. morning.
Where are we off to this morning, Vince?
We're off to the clinic this morning, trying to better my life in some way.
What do you mean better your life?
Trying to stabilize myself, you know. Get off drugs and stuff. Substituting with the methadone drug.
You think that's a good idea?
For me, it is. Yeah, for the time being, it's the only option I have right now because it's so hard to get Ibogaine. I should be on Ibogaine.
What's Ibogaine?
Well, Ibogaine takes away the sickness of withdrawal from opiates, and it also blocks the thing in your head that makes you compulsive. It makes you want to go out and get more dope. So if I had some of that, it'd be really cool. But in America, all they will allow was the methadone program. So that's where I'm going right now. I'm off to the clinic. Shall I go for the hat now?
Yeah.
Here goes my hat for the day. Oakland. Kind of large. Too big, okay. Now I'm going for my coat. There I am. Ta-da. Off to the clinic. Now, the next thing I'll do is proceed to pump my bicycle up with air. Really elusive. The closer you get to it, the farther it get away. You try to get this one flash and then spend all your money trying to get high again. You just wouldn't do it. You just shoot more dope, spend more money, and get less and less high, more and more depressed. With heroin, there's a certain hydrogen hydroxide or some kind of chemical. And when you burn it in the spoon, it gives off a real pungent smell. And when you smell that, it brings it all back. It triggers off something inside your system that makes you want to retch until you have some.
Vince, what are you doing?
I'm making a list pertaining to relaxation, things that having to do with relaxation, such as different diversions, recreation, games, sports, different endeavors such as chess, golf, ping pong, yoga, deep breathing, playing music, sports, sex, bicycling, fishing, darts, movies, picnics, hiking, bowling, volleyball, cards, going to a gambling casino, taking tryptophan, and vitamin B1.
What do you have to do this for?
Huh? I have to do this for the group meeting, the mandatory group meeting at my clinic. The bats. I'm going to bats. For the mandatory group meeting. Well, it's the best thing they have to offer, you know. It's the only thing that they'll legally go for the government and everything.
Does it alleviate your desire for heroin?
No. Not really. It does help take away the withdrawal symptoms and stuff like that, but as far as the psychological desire and the compulsion and all that stuff, it doesn't take that away at all. It just makes you sort of drowsy and makes you very sleepy all the time. Makes you want to take a nap at any hour of the day almost. And you can't ever judge anybody by their looks or anything, or things are only skin deep, you know, whatever. But you can't bag anybody because a lot of people are secret people and they keep everything inside them, and so you don't know. They might be from some other planet or something. Sometimes people are accused of being crazy when actually they're just perceiving things from another dimension or a higher realm that other people can't see. And there are realms where inanimate objects take life and form, and imagination and stuff become so real that there's no dividing line. You can't tell what's real from what's a fantasy. And I've seen those worlds where there's nothing you could do to prove that it wasn't real. It was not a hallucination. But then, see, when I did a lot of yoga, all your friends start getting real concerned about you. They think you're going crazy because they see you standing on your head all the time and doing weird things, and then all of a sudden your music changes and stuff, and it gets so heavy that it scares people to play with you because you go to such far out places that it takes them with you, you know. They don't want to be there. We'll be back with some more special guests. Meanwhile, Mr. Greenfield will be passing our tip jar around. Thank you for your generous donations. We'll be back in about 20 minutes with some more special guests. Thank you so much.
There's some tapes up here that Vince made. They're good tapes. If you talk to Vince right now, he'll make you a special deal.
One's a screenplay, and the other one's Volume 2.
Volume 2 from Hollywood, and the other one's
a movie.
For a movie theme. Anyway, contribute to the welfare of the band, please.
That's on my mouthpiece cover, and I write it down.